This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 38-year-old taxi operator killed in St. Elizabeth crash. A 38-year-old taxi operator died as a result of injuries he sustained in a crash in Black River, St. Elizabeth on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as a Max Graham, a resident of Barbary Hall in the parish. A report from the Constabulary Communications Unit said about 12:02 a.m., Graham was driving on the Crane Main Road when he lost the control of his Toyota Noah motor vehicle, resulting in it overturning. Graham was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Every time it rains, disabled mom gets scared. With this year's hurricane season fast approaching, Denise Chito is worried that the house into which the government moved her 9 years ago will not survive any heavy rain as it is prone to flooding. Now, the disabled mother of 4 children, ages 16, 15, 12, and 4, has resorted to calling on Prime Minister Andrew Holness for help. I am here kindly asking the Prime Minister to please intervene into my situation. I am tired of the flooding. I can see where you are giving persons and families hope every day around Jamaica. Please do me the honor and my children to give us hope, Chito pleaded, tears welling in her eyes during a recent interview with the news. Now that the hurricane season is approaching, oh God, I fall into depression. Sometimes I go days thinking about the flooding and how me and my children would be in the dirty water like crocodiles. It gives me anxiety. Because of the weather now, I am always listening to the news to prepare myself, she said. Chita's quest for proper housing began in 2011 when her stepfather's mother claimed the plot of land where Food for the Poor had erected a home for her in Linstead, St. Catherine. The house was later sold, resulting in Chito, her 3 daughters, and a common-law husband being given notice to leave. They were forced to move into a small one-room house at Duke Street, downtown Kingston, where they all slept on one bed, she said. Refusing to stay in that uncomfortable living situation, Chito went to several government agencies trying to get a plot of land to relocate. In 2013, Food for the Poor erected a 2-bedroom house for her on a plot of land in West Albion, St. Thomas, which was leased from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing in 2013. However, the new space in St. Thomas only brought her more discomfort and fear. From I got the lot, I have been flooding. I really have terrible flooding and my septic tank overflows. It's not going down. I pay to draw it down, but whenever the rain comes, it just full up back, she said. When I see the situation happening for so many years, in 2020 I asked to be relocated, and I was told by the former Minister of Housing, Pernell Charles Jr., that I should put it in writing, which I did, she said. That letter dated December 7, 2020, which was the latest of several sent to the then Ministry of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, read, I have been suffering badly because of the flooding. I am in a terrible situation. Please, I am desperately asking for immediate attention. She said that letter had pushed the ministry to identify another piece of land in the St. Thomas community in 2021. They said because of the constant flooding of my home, water soaking it and it's rotting, they are going to build me a new structure. But when 2022 started, I didn't hear anything, so I went to find out what was going on, she said. To her dismay, Chito said she was told that Charles Jr. did not sign off on the construction of her new house. Then, the cabinet shuffle which took place in January saw the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation reincorporating the Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change portfolios. I asked what would happen for me now. They said all my requirements would have to be resubmitted to Minister Robert Montague, but he has since resigned and I am still stuck here, and it is almost approaching another hurricane season, and every time the rain fall heavily my house flood out. The last major flood was in 2020, she said. When the flooding started, me tell me kids to climb up the ladder in the house. I can't climb because I am disabled, so I stand on the bed. You know what my second daughter said to me the other day? Look how we all live. We get the worst place in the scheme, Chita said. Now I am being told that the only person who can help me to be relocated and get the new home built is Prime Minister Andrew Holness, she said. Chita said she believes that she is being treated unfairly because of her disability. She was badly disfigured at 17 years old by a jealous ex-lover who chopped her all over her body. She lost some of her fingers in the attack, and the injuries to her knees were so bad that she had to receive physiotherapy to get her walking again. They gave me a raw deal in the first place. When I came here, people who lived here before me said the ministry was wicked to give me deso. Housing really put your deso in a pond? You can't swim? You have a boat? They would always say those things, but I didn't understand because I wanted somewhere to live, until I started having my own experience of the flooding, she said. Last week, when a trough across the island caused some parishes, including St. Thomas, to experience heavy rainfall, videos sent to the news by Chito showed her walking cautiously through ankle-high floodwaters in her yard. If the rain never stopped, my house would have flooded out again because the whole of the yard full up of water. I don't even know if the drain were them installed since year work because water still in the yard. To me, it look like the water have to reach a level for them start to work. It no make no sense, she said. She also admitted that she is still making payments for the lease agreement on the land, which should have been completed in 2016. Almost $300,000 left to pay for the house, and I should pay $4,000 per month. But the contract up already. I am still trying because me have a liquor worker sell sweetie and snacks, but the flooding make me feel discouraged. Me a flood, so you no give me no courage to pay for it, she said. Asked for a response to Chito's claims, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation requested that questions be emailed, but up to press time, no response was provided. Prominent attorney Christopher Townsend to join international human rights body. Prominent attorney at law Christopher Townsend has accepted an offer to be a member of the Organization for Human Rights Defense, which is affiliated with the United Nations. Townsend said today that being a member will give him the power to investigate on behalf of the organization any breaches of human rights in any country, particularly in the Caribbean. I have to go through some level of security clearance, and when that is done, I will be able to take up my appointment, he said. Townsend said he has years of service in the protection of human rights. It is a great honor to be offered such a post, and I do believe that I am equal to the task since it is something that I have in fact been doing for a while, he said. It is good to be recognized in this fashion and given this opportunity to affect human rights not only on a local scale but on a regional scale, he added. Townsend's appointment to the organization will take place at a ceremony to be held in Romania later this year. The objectives of the organization are to investigate human rights abuse and misuse and create projects and plans of action to help resolve any such abuses around the world. The role of the organization is to ensure that the rights and the freedoms of all people are protected under the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Cavalier and St. Andrew residents mount roadblocks. The police were earlier today at the scene of a protest in Cavalier, St. Andrew. From as early as 3:30 this morning, residents were out protesting over the deplorable state of the main road in the community. The blockages extend for miles along the thoroughfare, which stretches from Stony Hill to Lawrence Tavern. Large trees and other debris had rendered the roadway impassable. The police had called for resources to assist in clearing the blockages. Kavon Tomlinson, a promising teenager's life cut short. 15-year-old Denby High School 10th grader Kavon Tomlinson had his sights set on being an accountant, as he vowed he would never take up farming as his father, Kevin. The teenager's dream was cut short when he died suddenly on April 7, 2 days after he collapsed at his school and had to be rushed to Denby Hospital in Clarendon. In an interview with the news, his aunt Latoya Anderson Gilfillian, with whom he had been living for over 10 years, broke down as she recalled the events leading up to his death. She said that he took sick at school in March and was taken to the hospital where he underwent a brain scan. The result was inconclusive, so she said they were sent to Kingston to undergo an MRI. Before receiving the results, she said he was due for his ward review. He also did a blood test at the hospital, Gilfillian said. He had an exam on April 5, so he had to go to school. When it come on to school, Kavon doesn't want to stop from school. Him not take no check. It was even a problem for him to go to do the brain scan, cause he didn't want to miss school. So I allowed him to go to school. I couldn't stop him, she shared. Later on in the day, she got a call from the teachers at the school that her nephew had again fallen sick. When she visited, she said he was unresponsive. However, after he regained consciousness, she said he started throwing up black stuff. The night before his death, she saw him, and he called her Auntie P, not his usual auntie, which she pondered and found strange. Before leaving, she said the doctor told her he had to do an emergency test, as they discovered he had a stroke but could not identify what caused it. I was like, strokes come with a high blood pressure or something, and they are not seeing anything, she informed. She said she made the sacrifice and paid for the test, as owing to the condition he was in, she didn't want the day to end and he didn't get the test done. After praying with him, she went home and was prepared to visit him the following day. That day never came, as she was called the following day to visit the hospital, where she was greeted with the news of his passing. My brother was there, but he didn't know what happened. I started to cry, but at the same time, my brother was asking what is wrong. I knew I had to brace myself because I had to be strong for him. He asked what happened to his son, and I couldn't answer him, she shared, adding that the doctor informed him that he lost his son. He fainted and hit his head on the ground. After he was revived, he fainted again. Even though I was weak, I had to be his strength, she said. Reminiscing on her nephew's life, Gil Filion said he was a loving child, liked combing her hair. He said that he didn't want to live anywhere but with her, as she pointed out that although her brother lived in the community, he chose to stay with her. Showing his many trophies he received while a student at the Smithville Primary School, she said he was highly competitive and didn't like to fail. While his sudden passing has hurt her, she said she is comforted by the thought that he didn't die suddenly. What kinda bring me comfort at this time is when I look on the TV and I saw the news with the children, like Central High School. I don't know what the mother is going through, where they find the body of the student, Jason White. They have so much questions. I look at those two young men at the school with the ring incident, where both parents were grieving at the moment, she said on the incident at William Knibb High School in Trelawney, where Kamal Hall was killed by one of his classmates. But what brings me comfort is that God took him early. Those things give me comfort. I don't have to go to the station, Nee City. That's where I am to stay, and for that I still give God thanks. Kenisha Williamson, Kavon's English teacher at Denby, remembers her student as a vibrant and one who always tried to do well. He took pride in making me feel proud as his teacher. As I taught him, he gave me the impression that he was hungry for success. He understood that he was from a humble background and wanted to make his family and the teachers proud. He was respectful, pleasant, and one of the few students I had online who always answered me, even when other students remained quiet, she noted, stating her love for him. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.